Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was a Super Saiyan. I'm sorry if I don't sound interesting, I just did an hour of flipping footage and it didn't work. So I'm kind of like not caring right now. Also due to me explaining it a heck of a lot. Anyways, yeah. Let's start the video. Anyways, I believe this is Frieza Saga. My Hero and the Dragon Ball universe are two separate plane of existences, meaning that Zenu or this Omni King cannot enter into this world or universe due to him not creating it. And what would happen is that Deku would be born different. He'll be born in between sagas. Which ones? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. As Deku would, how would you say? He would be different. As he would gain abilities of super strength and whatnot. He would be born with black hair. With a tad of green. And so, what would happen is that... Actually, no, he would have full black hair. Yeah, he'll have full black hair. So what would happen is that he would, there would be connections. He would gain memories from the DBZ universe. Because even though he's from another plane of existence, you'd call, how do you say? All Saiyans are connected, no matter, even if they are part of different, plane of existences, all Saiyans are connected by at least some type of way. Either by hair color or something. Personalities or something. Deku would have a range of abilities in this what if. He had Kaioken, Super Saiyan God, Broly's adaptation to fighting, Cumber's Rage, Fire Rage, and a couple of things like that. Deku would be born extremely strong, with a power level at least on 500. Yeah, so it would be either 500 or 1,000. Power level of 1,000. Yeah, he'll have a power level of 1,000 as a baby. Why? Because he would gain Kaioken very early as a young lad. And what would happen is that due to him crying and feeling pain and whatnot, as just a newborn baby crying and whatnot, he would open up Kaioken, but he will also up something else, a rage. Which rage? Cumber's Rage. So yes, Cumber he wouldn't make a presence. He'll still be in the he'll be in the DBZ universe still. So there'll be no difference. But what would happen as the older and more Deku trains, he'll become stronger. As with age will come strength. So the stronger or the older he becomes, the stronger he gets. Well, naturally, but even so, training will just increase that. So as Bakugo and whatnot would bully him every day with a couple, he'll have more goons. He'll at least have 10 goons in this. So yeah, he'll also be a lot more crueler and a more villain-like, I guess, or just naturally more aggressive than Ken himself, due to him seeing Deku as stronger than him. Physically, of course. So what would happen is that Deku would gain memories. He would gain memories from another universe or another plane of existence, which are the sagas, the Buu saga, Cell saga, Frieza saga, the God's the fighting of gods or something like that. I can't remember the movie name, but he will see the Beerus versus Goku fight. He will see the Goku versus Black Goku, Trunks versus Goku. I mean, yeah, just everyone against each other. So yeah, Trunks against a Black Goku technically, Goku Black. So yeah, he would see all these other fights as dreams. He would dream about these fights every day. So every dream is different though. It will reveal every memory, even the android fights, everything that went all the way as canon DBZ. So as old as Dragon Ball, and then eventually Dragon Ball Z, and then Dragon Ball Super and all that. I guess Dragon Ball Super wouldn't happen yet. No, they wouldn't happen yet. Anyways, yeah, all the way until they meet Beerus, he would have all those memories growing up. And the timelines and the act of time will be different. The way time works in My Hero Academia universe is a lot more different than the DBZ universe. And so at one day when Deku was just very tired and agitated, he did have an anger issue. So he did have to have music. And while going to a music store to get music, he'll eventually meet Jiro, and he would eventually meet the main cast of villains, Shigaraki, Dabi, Toga, but when he's a child. And he would, as everyone will still become villains, but they will have their memories with Deku, but on the back of their mind. So when they see, what he is now, they wouldn't really, think he's the same person due to his hair changing a bit. So what would happen is that during one of his strolls, he will see a good 10 people, or 10 goons of Bakugos, plus Bakugo, making 11 people. What would happen is that they will try to jump Deku near the school. But after Deku getting irritated enough, and Bakugo saying the wrong things, or try to diss Deku and saying, oh, that's why your father left, because blah blah blah, and Deku would just be infuriated by this, meaning that he would eventually open up False Super Saiyan, and not just False Super Saiyan, but Kaioken on top of that. And he doesn't know why he said this, but when he, was like this, he said Kaioken times 3. Plusing that with the False Super Saiyan. So, yes. And he would continue on breaking everyone's bones. Breaking Bakugo's bones, Bakugo's bones, everyone else's bones as well, to almost a severe extent, but not to the point where it's controllable. He don't hold back, by the way. He has a lot of abilities, so he got to keep calm. Eventually he sees what he did. He books it out of there. And what would happen is that the next week, Deku would get Inko would get a call from the school, but after explaining after Deku explains to Inko it was Bakugo's fault for jumping him, Inko would call Mitsuki, and Mitsuki would yell at Bakugo, and at that point, Deku would get mail. He will get a mail with a heart-shaped clothes on it. He'll open up, the paper, he will just, see a poem, I guess. Or not a poem, but, a love letter. He doesn't know the person, so, he wouldn't say yes, but, he wouldn't throw it away like any normal person would, but, he's grateful for, everything, he's happy that people see him as, I guess, that, so, he doesn't, let's say Toga, she's at, the window. She's trying to, she erases her presents. And she looks at it. Instead of, actually, unlike rude people or disrespectful people, they don't burn it or throw it away, which Toga sees. Instead, Toga sees him putting it in a drawer and thinking about it. Making Toga happy, and, as she continues on with her day, getting away from Izuku's house. Deku wouldn't notice this due to her not having ki. And if after all this, he would be suspended for 2 days. 2 weeks. And he would train uncontrollably, training hard, like Asta, like Meliodas, like Rock Lee. He would be doing a very harsh training to himself. Almost not breaking his body, but, getting as strong as he can in, the short time. And after that short time, his personality would change a different. He would become less, not heroic, but, less. He wouldn't see All Might in the same light. He wouldn't be a fanboy anymore, which is what I'm trying to say. He wouldn't stutter anymore at all. So there will be changes to Deku's personality, as you see. And what would happen is that, while Deku's walking home, he senses something. He feels he doesn't know it, but he feels like something's watching him. So while he's walking, he closes his eyes and he concentrates. Continues to concentrate. And what would happen is that he notices that someone's there. Eventually, or finds out that someone's there. Trying to concentrate as hard as he can. And eventually, he would call them out, but, the person would disappear from Izuku's, reach. And what would happen is that after that, Deku would meet a couple other people. He'll meet Mirko, or before the 2 weeks are over, he would eventually meet Mirko. He'll just jump through rooftop to rooftop, having the ability to float, but not yet fly, because he's still training. So he hasn't fully controlled ki control yet. Or, controlling ki, I guess, to be able to fly. So he will, float. He'll be able to, make him, I guess, probably float. He'll eventually meet Mirko. Him and Mirko will talk. As a bank is, being robbed. Mirko, will have to do her duties. And due to Deku's anger management or anger issues, he would have to listen to music to calm himself down, meditate, and train to keep his mind off things. After being bullied by years in the past, he would, learn to control his anger to a certain extent, but only to the point where if people talk trash about him, he would fold them. Like, kind of, you talk trash, you get hit kind of thing. So, yeah. What would happen is that after the 2 weeks, he would return to school, and it would be the last day of school. And where would they be? In this classroom where teacher throws the papers up, and as everyone does the same thing, Bakugo does the same rant, and no one can make it to UA because UA is only for me. And the teacher will look on the sheet saying that you do got good grades to enter. And then he sees that Midoriya, or Deku in this case, would have better grades than Bakugo and would have all A's in his classes. So yeah, and this would make, Bakugo furious. Bakugo will be a lot more cruel, toxic, and other things. Like, he wouldn't care for anyone's, well-being. So he would make Deku's life a living hell. And Deku would be angry, because let's say Deku's, taking a nap. And why do I keep on saying Deku instead of Izuku Midoriya? Because Deku would be Izuku Midoriya's Saiyan name. Meaning that his name is now permanently is Deku. Because we all know that Saiyans only have one name, so Deku would be. I mean, Deku would be Deku's Saiyan name, I guess. So yeah, meaning that a lot of things would happen, and besides that, that was just a little info. So yeah, as you know, Deku's sleeping, and what would happen is that while he's sleeping, and he's on his arm sleeping, Bakugo would have the nerve to even after he got folded like an omelet 2 weeks prior than that, he would smash his hand and use his quirk on the desk, waking Deku up, as Deku is furious and just releases a major amount of bloodlust as he is woken, pushing back Bakugo just by the pure bloodlust that Deku has. And as that happens, everything will continue as Deku will continue to walk under the bridge as the sludge villain accident would occur, and I guess Deku would be pretty strong by this point, so after a couple punches, the sludge villain would disperse. He would walk away, and as he's walking away, a couple people would also be walking. They have their back turned, so they're walking in a certain direction. As their backs are turned by the sludge villain, not noticing the sludge villain. As everyone, I am here. As after a couple of minutes, Deku, is like half away, and All Might catches the sludge villain due to it being dispersed, puts it in a bottle, and after thinking, something will pop into All Might's head, being Beerus. Finally able to contact someone from, the other plane of existence. As he was trying to contact Deku, but due to, he found Deku's area, but he wasn't able to, pinpoint who it was, As Beerus pops in, All Might's head, All Might will stop, and, Beerus will go away due to finding out that this is not the Saiyan, but the Saiyan is close. As, that will cause the sludge villain to be let go, and it will grab onto Bakugo. As Bakugo would try to flare and what was the word? Scatter, I guess. Move his arms randomly in random directions, trying to get the sludge villain off of him, frailing. And what would happen is that the sludge villain will be a bit bigger due to a mutation, or let's say just for plot convenience, the sludge villain was a lot more bigger. It was just due to half of it still being in the sewers, it wasn't fully able to go outside the sewers due to half of it being inside the sewers. So the sludge villain will be a bit more larger in size in this timeline, as Deku is walking, and people are running to the location. As Deku would notice this, he would walk in. As Deku would start a lot of yell, because he is tired, so that was kind of he practically used all his energy just to use the rest of his energy just to beat the sludge villain. So he is very dramatically tired due to him studying a lot in tests. So the only reason he defeated sludge villain was because he had after he kind of not crawled, but he kind of had to limp due to his body being dramatically tired, and the only thing that was continuing him doing that was his just pure will in general. And so what would happen is that Deku would get out a yell. Ha! As you know, he powers up, activates Kaioken. Kaioken times 3! As you know, his body is now 3 times as strong as it once was before. And he would just, run to, or, I guess somewhat float fastly towards the sludge villain. As he starts punching the sludge villain and yanking Bakugo out. As I guess, I'll say he went Kaioken times 5, meaning that he isn't just tired and limping, but he is now using Kaioken times 5, quickly and extremely exaggerating him due to, Bakugo almost about to die, so, he needed that 2 more times speed, so, he had to go Kaioken times 5, and, making it right in time, right as, Bakugo was about to, get drowned, get his body taken over by the sludge villain, and this would alert a lot of the heroes, and, heroes are, shouting, "Why are you there?" As, Deku continues to, as he's knocked out due to the strain upon the body Kaioken has on him, something will awaken in Deku as a rage that is infernal will awaken in him as his eyes are white, and the sludge villain is getting burned by the amount of rage that is being activated. And what would happen is that half of the sludge villain will be burnt straight, like just in a line. As now the sludge villain is a lot more smaller, and almost killing him completely. So the sludge villain is now only a little slime, and as Deku proceeds to get knocked out. So yeah, and he would go to the doctors, or not doctors, but he would be set aside. I guess after he would be in I guess he'd be ambulance. Yeah, he'd be in the ambulance, and people will say, "What's your quirk?" As he says he was quirkless. As they do, the heroes do try to scold him after getting out the ambulance, because they say the ambulance will stay still, and he would say that he is quirkless, scold him. He wouldn't care. He wouldn't even he would even talk back to the heroes. It's like, "You did not do anything. I don't even have a quirk, and I still saved him. What does that mean to you?" As he scolds the heroes for not doing anything. As Deku is a bit he's a lot more stronger. Not just that, but is a bit smarter as well, but only combat wise. So he has a decent. He's a little bit old. He's pretty smart for a person. He has a decent. He's a bit smarter than normal people. So yeah. Deku's his natural just smartness and talent for things. So what would happen is that next up would be 10-month mark. As 10 months goes around, as Deku would keep on getting these weird letters with hearts on them. He would not be creeped out, but he would get a little bit annoyed, and what is this? He would get curious, as the next time a letter will pop up to his front door, he would open it, but no one will be there due to Toga being able to rest her presence. So as soon as the door opened, she would go to the side. After that, Deku would get out of the house, trying to look who it is. As she erases her presence, continues to skedaddle. As he continues to train, meeting with Jiro eventually to get some music. As he trains profusely, and after that, I guess he would unlock. I guess he would unlock. He wouldn't really unlock anything, but he becomes stronger. He would be able to use Fall Super Saiyan. He would be able to make Fall Super Saiyan for a little more longer. but due to him not having enough, tragic, you know, bad things happening to him to activate rage and, to become a full Super Saiyan, he wouldn't get a full Super Saiyan. As that would come later in the story. And due to him being born without a tail, there will be no Super Saiyan 4. No Super Saiyan true form. So yeah. As that happens, then it would be... Yeah, it'd be the entrance exam. You know what? Why not? It'd be the entrance exam. Keep doing this 3 consecutive times, and this being my 4th time, as I had an hour of footage and people kept on arguing, and due to me not knowing how to edit yet, I had to delete the footage, so I'm pretty aggravated, as I do somewhat know how to edit, but I only know how to, put on thumbnails, but besides that, that's my max capacity. So yes, after that, we go back to the universe where Deku is at. Actually, technically, no, we go to the memory that Deku has. A planet exploding as Frieza destroys the planet, or technically Beerus, but they destroy the planet and whatnot. And Deku would get all these memories, something about a Super Saiyan. As through mythology, there always be some. How are all Saiyans connected? All mythology, during either mythology, historical facts, or any type of resemblance of any type of Super Saiyan will be connected between any of them. And there will be a legend about a Super Saiyan God, but being a fairy tale, it will not exist. But Deku would be that Super Saiyan God, so Prince Vegeta will only know of, the legendary Super Saiyan. So what would happen is that, everything will happen as, we go back to Deku's universe, back in present time, and, entrance exam, I say Mirko would give him, a recommendation, but due to him loving to fight, he would neglect it, or can't go to the fighting portion of the entrance exam, so he would not accept the recommendation. And what would happen here is that during the entrance exam, Deku would not trip, meaning that he does not meet Uraraka. Instead, Ida trips, and Uraraka saves him from falling. And what would happen is everything goes on. I'll say Deku has a personality of Super Saiyan. I guess Super Saiyan, either Super Saiyan 3 Goku or a personality of Super Saiyan 4. You know what? For now, Deku would have a personality of a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, meaning that he does not care if you annoy him. You are going to get clapped and folded. I'm about to catch these hands. These hands are E for everyone. So yeah, what would happen is that after that, I guess Deku's racking up points, as Ida does not interrupt due to talking to Orchako. And, as the doors open, Deku just, he not climbed the gate, but, I guess he's the first one, and as soon, just the smallest crack as humanly possible, Deku, slide through it, like Michael Jackson, go through the door and start destroying, just obliterating robots. By the time people are inside of it, Deku already has about 10 to 15 robots. As people will say it's unfair, but President Mike will say the real life doesn't wait for anyone. Villains don't wait for anyone. So yeah, that would happen. And what would happen now is that I'm tickled too fast. What would happen now is that Deku would get just at least a good 40, 50, like he'll get 10, 1-pointers, 20 2-pointers, and 10 3-pointers, making 40 points. As you know, he raises it by 50, so now he has 50 points. I mean, not 50 points, but he gets 50, killing 10 more pointers, or I guess all of the rest of them will either be like, I guess, the 3-pointers. Yeah, he would go for 3-pointers. The 1-pointers, the only reason he got defeated the 1-pointers is because they're about to crush people, so gotta have them out the way. So he gets just a lot of points just for getting hero points. But he also gets, he wouldn't get any villain points, though. I guess it'd be, a good, decent, you'd get, 20 points for, villain points for stealing some robots. But at the same time getting hero points by saving people. Until the 0-pointer shows up. As, everyone's running away from the 0-pointer. As, who would be? Let me think. Who would have what would happen? Who would I want to have somebody else in there. I'll guess. Who would be in there though? I guess I can make it a rocket, but I mean that's kind of original. So you know what? I'll have it be. You know what? I'll say just for plot convenience. It was who doesn't have a physical quirk or a meta quirk? I was about to make it Mina, but people already shipped that with Mina due to her looking like Majin Buu, or Android 21. But besides that, let's say it was. Why not? I'm not gonna make it the ship anyways, but just for references, the reference for Android 21 will be Mina. So but Mina wouldn't be Android. So yeah, let's say Mina's yelling, and let's say her quirk, due to the rubble being too big, it did not work. So yeah. So Deku, after trying to save a person, he would get the boulder off, but due to his pride, he will not run away from the 0-pointer. Instead, he would stand there and get into position. As he starts to glow. As he will yell out, "Kaioken times 10!" As Deku's body is dramatically, there, but I'll say, why not? Let's say, let's say let's say Jiro was also there, but trying to help Mina out from the rubble. So trying to save his friend's life, he would go Super Saiyan. No, because I have Super Saiyan ready to be unlocked for another one. Something different. So he would call out, I'll say, Kaioken times 20. Due to him not being strong enough to do it to destroy the entire 0-pointer before they crush them in Kaioken times 10. So he'll go far and beyond plus ultra and do Kaioken times 20. Making his strength dramatically skyrocket, and as a serious face says, he punches the 0 pointer and it just gets obliterated. He jumps as high as he could, as in canon, and I guess a little bit higher in canon, and just on top of the 0 pointer as he punches the 0 pointer, obliterating the head entirety. As his rage is also burning. As parts of Deku's hair starts to turn a little bit red. But not permanently, though. Just a little spark. Like, just one spark. Just one spark of red. Due to, him being the legendary Super Saiyan God, I'll say he does have the potential, but, due to a rage output and using Kaioken, increasing his anger, and, I guess being God Ki is his natural element, I'll say it does flicker, like, at least once. So, douche. As that one flicker gives Deku enough strength to destroy the rest of the 0 pointer. Entirely. As the entire 0 pointer is just flattened like a pancake, either that or it just explodes. So, yes. I'm getting lightheaded from talking too fast. Anyways. I guess Jiro and Mino would thank Deku. Deku will say no problem. As the only reason he was able to do that, but wait, no. I say he'll be mid-air as, they're thanking him, like, thank you. And, also Deku's sand name will be Deku, I think. Did I reset that? If I didn't, it's Deku, so yeah. Anyways. They'll say thank you, Deku, like, no prob. As he loses consciousness, and, just continues to fall. As, he's falling pretty fast, as, I'll say with Jiro's, I guess Jiro would use her earphone jacks to not tie up, but like midway as Deku's falling, try to cushion the fall by, pushing him to the side instead of just directly down. So, or I guess Mina would throw something at Deku, or throw an acid blast at Deku, as Deku just goes flying in in the direction due to him not able to move, due to being fainted like a Pokemon. So yeah, as there's a hard crash, and like Yamcha, or not like Yamcha, Deku would be fainted, and he'll be in like metal and like rubble. So back with Recovery Girl, they chat and whatnot. Him and Recovery Girl chat. As him and Mina and Jiro would talk. After that, Deku would, I guess, walk home after, a couple hours. He just waits for his, what was I was gonna add something here. He waits for his letter, but he also waits for something else. Besides the letter, he's looking for another letter. But due to him staying outside, because let's say he was, he after a while, he'll, jog around his house, I guess apartment, I think, house. Let's say house. They have a house. So he would jog around the neighborhood, around the house, making sure he can see the front door every round. So yeah, nothing will come until, he goes inside and is like, that's enough jogging. I jogged enough for the day. As he jogged at least a good 1,000 miles. Because he is pretty fast, so yeah. And let's say it's on nighttime, so 1,000 miles and speed of flipping, I don't know how fast. Oof. Actually, no, 1,000 miles is too much. Let's say 100 miles. At least for now. because I don't want to make him that overpowered in speed. So after 100 miles, he finally he goes to his house and like, oh, that's enough. I didn't see him. I didn't see who delivers the note. So he just walks in. Dinner's ready. He's happy because he loves food. He dreams about food as well. Instead of dreaming about memory, Inko cooks his favorite dish. So with the love of food, you would say he would dream about food. Because if I ate my favorite food, I'll probably have dreams about food too. So yeah. Anyways, he dreams about food that same day, and then he hears something, just a flip, like a paper flip. So, he would look directly at his window and see a paper, being pushed in, and he gets up immediately and charges at the window, but no one's there, as Toga is under the window, sealing her presence away, as he's getting annoyed but also curious, as continues to go on. As he eventually catches, I'll say eventually, one day, due to Toga's parents kicking her out, I'll say she'll sleep near Deku's house. So Deku will catch her lacking, and sleeping under her sleeping on a tree next to his window. Caught her lacking. So he was like, "Bet I found you." Oh, he's like, "I found you." Like the just satisfaction though, like satisfaction of the mystery person who keeps on sending them the letters. He'll let them sleep because he's not rude. He's a pretty dude. He's a pretty kind person. Like, he wouldn't wake them up, but he is curious. But he'll take a nap too on the tree. So just for plot convenience, he would sleep on the next branch next to Toga. As Toga wakes up, and she will be like, as don't move. I may have my eyes closed, but I know what's happening. Don't know who you are, nor do I remember, nor do I know if you're part of my life. Actually, no, you wouldn't already said, but like, I don't know who you are, but can you explain yourself, please, so I don't gotta open my eyes, because I'm pretty tired. As she tries to run, but entrance transmissions. Wow. So yeah. And what would happen is that what was it? They would talk, and Deku would open his eyes and be like, "So, oh hey, I know you." And they'll start to talk because they knew each other as children. Toga never forgot the kindness Deku gave her, because let's say Deku was the first and only person that was ever kind to Toga, even after knowing about her quirk. So, they'll become friends and whatnot. Now they're friends instead of at this point, Deku forgets. Deku feels like he's forgetting something. And then he was like, hold up, what was I here? And then, like, as soon as he thinks why he's here again, he remembers the letter. I'm like, bet, I forgot. Here you go. And like, hey, I have a question. I can't remember. What was it? Oh, yeah, Toga. Sorry. I'm pretty tired. Were you the one who said the letters? I got, like, a lot of letters, She would say yes. So, and then Deku would be like, it's been a while. I guess. No, he wouldn't say that, but like, I don't know you, but I can get to know you and start to like you. So Toga was like, she had a sad face, and then as soon as he said I can get to know you, she was like, bet. So she tries to, trigger Deku's memory to, back to, when they're kids, but, Deku don't remember any of that due to him falling on his head like Goku. Because let's say he was, I don't know, let's say he was, training very hardly, he accidentally bumped his head, forgetting, about Toga. So, yeah. Anyways, what would happen next is that they will get along. Eventually become friends and best friends. And, Toga trying to slide. So, she trying to get higher than that best friend rank. But, Deku too dense. He dense as flip, my guy. Like Goku, he dense. He got that denseness. So, he don't know he don't know when a person is flirting with him, even if it hits him in the head. So, yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, did I say the entrance exam? Yeah, the entrance exam already happened. This is the, I believe they gave a month. Either a month or 2 weeks before they got the thing. But anyways, after a couple weeks, I'd say due to, Toga, she feels safe with Deku. So, she'll tell him, her, what happened about, parents and whatnot. Deku will feel bad and like, you casas es mi casas. I don't know how to speak that good Spanish. My home is your home. So, yeah. So, yeah. Toga would be happy. He's like, hey, really? And, Deku would be like, yeah. You my friend. I got you. As you know, Toga, Deku brings Toga home, I guess. Inko. I need my sandals because I gotta do something after this. Anyways, Toga will be brought home by Deku, and Inko will be a little bit how would I explain it? She'll be on top of Deku, who this, like, what up? And, they'll start to talk. Deku still, he don't remember, he does remember, but he only remembers portions of it. He doesn't remember, the best times they had together, so, they're best friends as little ones, so, yeah. Also, after they transferred, because she had to transfer eventually, so, yeah. Eventually, Inko would get it that, they're just friends, and, she notices that her son is a bit too dense to, notice flirting. Because, Toga was trying to flirt with him, but Deku, he'd be like, so how was the food? He wouldn't understand anything that they're trying to do, so yeah. Anyway, somebody else will knock at the door. As a figure would not open the door, but they'll start knocking on the door as Deku opens up the door, and he would see and that will be where I live off. Who's at the door? Who will it be? Would it be his father? Will it be Beerus? Would it be flippin' Goku? Who can it be? You will never know. Who knows? It might be awful, and it might be flippin' Piccolo. I don't know. Guess in the comments. Subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below on what you think will happen next. On What If Deku Was a Super Saiyan God?